% of the total revenue. 14.28 falls short of the threshold that has been set by the Constitution of a minimum of 15%. Honorable Speaker, of course, they will argue that they are basing their math on the last audited accounts that have been approved by Parliament. But we know that this continues to be an injustice to the devolution family. Somebody made a remark in the morning here that, in fact, the current Treasury CS, John Mbadi, was the chair of PAC in the National Assembly, whose responsibility it was to ensure that the National Assembly is up to date so that the devolution family does not continue to lose money. I will come back to John Mbadi in a short while, Honorable Speaker, but allow me to say that the Senate, this House, has recommended 465 billion. I don't know why the Speaker is shaking his head. Honorable Speaker, is there a problem? Have I said something that was offended the Speaker? Because, Honorable Speaker, I'll proceed as if nothing has happened. So, Speaker, if you look at the committee's observations on page 7, that the recommendation we have made as a Senate of 465 billion has science behind it. It is not just a figure that was plucked from the air. And you will see the committee says that the recommendation was informed by the need for county governments to meet new non-discretionary financial obligations relating to, number 1, housing levy deductions. This is a national government imposition. Number 2, contributions to the National Social Security Fund. Number 3, matching allocations for the county integrated industrial parks, which is a program that was initiated by the national government requiring county governments to match them. Matching allocations for community health promoters program. Honorable Speaker, this responsibility falls upon us as a county government to make sure we pay these CHPs. And then the procurement of new medical equipment. When we were in Mandera with Senator Roba, we were informed that all those beautiful machines in that referral hospital have come to the end of their lease, and we need for these county hospitals and facilities to be able to acquire new ones. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, meeting the outstanding obligation under doctors' collective bargaining agreements and annual wage drift. Speaker, you know, every single day, medical workers are outside our house here, including yesterday. They were here in Parliament. Sadly, they were tear gassed by the police. I don't know why. Because they have been there every single day for the past 3 or so months. They have been there. Even today, they are here, Honorable Speaker. And we have been told by the leadership of these unions that these collective bargaining agreements are binding to county governments. So, Honorable Speaker, where we have reached in the health sector, in fact, I want to plead with the UHC workers that where we have reached now, the only thing we want to discuss is money. The time for stories is over. And the house that handles money is the National Assembly. So let them be protesting there, because we as a Senate have done our part. The chair of the Budget Committee must allocate the money that is required to absorb these UHC health workers and are permanent and pensionable. When I was in Garissa, I ran into the CS for health. And he was also trying to be clever by drawing in the Senate. Yet we as a Senate have done our job. CS Duale knows very well that the Senate does not appropriate any money. He wants it to look like we are the problem, yet the problem and the people with the power of the purse is the National Assembly, Honorable Speaker. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, there is the question of the MOU that we signed between ODM and UDA. Honorable Speaker, I said I will come back to CS Mbadi because it has been said out there that I only criticize, but I don't say anything positive about our experts in the government. The truth of the matter is, if you do something that is contrary to what ODM stands for, it is my responsibility to say that that is against what ODM stands for. When CS Mbadi says that in this particular financial year, there will be no new taxes he introduces under the Finance Act, that is ODM. That is who we are. We say tick. When Mbadi says that, I saw in today's newspapers, Honorable Speaker, that he has issued a circular that is going to introduce transparency in the PPP process. He has adopted wholesale the recommendations of the committee of this House on transport and housing, which was dealing with the Adani question, Honorable Speaker, when we said that, number 1, if you are a government agency that receives a privately initiated proposal on any development, you have a responsibility to disclose that you have received that document. He has adopted that. As SG, I say, that is ODM. We are for transparency. Tick. Honorable Speaker, we have said in the committee where I used to sit when Karungu Wathangwa was the chair, I was a member, that you have to allow, after you receive a privately initiated proposal for a PPP, you have to allow other people to give you a better offer. What we called in the committee the Swiss challenge. I have seen he has put it in the circular. I say that is ODM. We say tick. But this one here, where he's proposing 405 billion Kenya shillings, it is my responsibility to say to the CS for Treasury, that is not what ODM has agreed with UDA. We agreed in the MOU, and I carry this MOU everywhere I go because I encounter ignorance at all levels, Honorable Speaker. And it is my responsibility to make sure that I deal with the ignorant about what this MOU provides for. Honorable Speaker, the majority leader was with me in Migori, and he asked me that he has read this MOU, that it is a good thing. But he doesn't understand why it is Sifuna's role to ask people questions. I want to explain a few things to him. Unfortunately, he has walked out. Number one, if you look at the constitution of ODM under Article 11, Honorable Speaker, it sets out the duties of members of ODM. Number one, Honorable Speaker, it is our duty as members of a party to understand the programs and the things that the party gets itself into. Once you have understood, it is a responsibility stated in the Constitution to explain what the party is doing. It is my responsibility to explain what we are doing with UDA. And finally, Honorable Speaker, under Article 11, we have a duty to combat propaganda that is detrimental to the interests of ODM. Combat is the word that is used by the Constitution. When you combat, you are not required to be nice. Although my party leader has asked me to reduce the number of papers that I put in the soup. Honorable Speaker, combat means you take it head on. Propaganda that is detrimental to the interests of a party. Such propaganda as to what the provisions of this document are. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, Article 20 of the Constitution of ODM says that the Secretary General of ODM is the depository and custodian. Just a minute, let me make my point. Is the custodian of all documents, including all agreements that the party signs.
Just a minute, Senator Sifuna. What is out of order?